Night on the South today. A Dunedin business was churning through the customers today as locals deal with the heat. The new Health Minister made her way to Dunedin to get updates on a new build surrounded by controversy. And a retired Rangiora man is filling his time by tinkering around, building toys inspired by classic cars. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. Dunedinites awoke to hot and humid conditions this morning, and as the cloud burned off, the mercury climbed, cracking 30 degrees just after 11 a.m. The Octagon was almost empty as many scrambled to find respite from the sun, but one local business was still busy churning through the customers.
Dishing out relief by the scoopful. The predicted run of scorching weather arrived in Dunedin, sending visitors and locals scrambling to find ways to cool off. Gelato Junkie in the Octagon was making the most of the sunshine, eager to keep the most popular flavours in stock as business surged.
We would have been at least twice as busy as we would have expected to be on an average weather day. So yeah, probably turning over twice as much.
The team reckon chocolate and cookies and cream remain the most popular flavours, but admitted they were taking advantage of the heat to test out some new recipes.
I just churned our first batch of lemon, lime and bitters, which we normally wouldn't really make because it's not suitable for the normal Dunedin weather, which isn't really known for being too tropical.
There was just time for a pit stop to refill the new mobile three-wheeled gelato van before it was off to serve overheating patrons on the other side of town.
But tomorrow probably will be in McKendra Bay, here just enjoying, making the most of a beautiful day at the beach.
While temperatures hit 30 degrees in the Octagon around 11 a.m, Waitati briefly took the hottest spot nationally, reaching almost 31 degrees. The soaring heat prompted Waka Kotahi to deploy grit trucks to combat melting tar seal on several highways north and south of Dunedin. In Dunedin, the South today.
Dunedin City councillors have backed retaining the iconic Taieri Gorge train line. The Dunedin City Council announced their decision today following a closed-doors meeting earlier in the week on Tuesday. Council CEO Sandy Graham says the council has committed in principle to retaining the line, which has had an uncertain future after it was put on hold in 2020 following the pandemic. The council claimed the Taieri Gorge line is a key part of the city's visitor economy and will look at ways to secure and enhance the train ride. New Health Minister Dr Aisha Verrill made her way south yesterday for an update on the new Dunedin hospital build on just her second day in the job.
New Health Minister Dr Aisha Verrill made her way south yesterday for an update on the new Dunedin hospital build on just her second day in the job. She toured the hospital construction site and spoke with managers heading up the complicated build. Verrill, who trained at Dunedin Hospital, has taken a keen interest in the project. She acknowledged that proposed cost-saving design changes have caused concern and uncertainty amongst the community in the face of inflating budgets. Verrill also took time to meet with the mayors of Dunedin and Invercargill, as well as city councillors campaigning to reinstate the original design plans. Dunedin Mayor Jules Raddick claims the meeting with the Health Minister was positive and constructive. However, Raddick says they will continue to campaign to stop planned design cuts to the hospital. Verrill says she will respond to the concerns as soon as possible. In Dunedin, the South today.
Gore Mayor Ben Bell has been a target of potential dirty politics during the 2022 local government elections. Natasha Chadwick ran former Mayor Tracy Hicks' social media campaign during the campaign last year. During that time, she came across a picture she thought questioned Bell's sexuality, to which she told Hicks to use the photos, but he declined, claiming it wasn't his style. She has since shared the images to various media outlets, which supposedly shows a male friend kissing Bell on the cheek. Bell says he had heard rumours about his sexuality towards the end of his campaign, but isn't sure if it's a case of dirty tactics, and says it's all water off of a duck's back. Waka Kotahi New Zealand Transport Agency is urging those travelling over the long weekend to stay safe and to expect delays on their journey. There are still many extreme weather warnings spreading across the country, with the west coast likely to be hit with heavy rain over Waitangi weekend. A number of state highways remain closed due to slips and other damage. The Transport Agency suggests drivers should check closures and road information before travelling. Waka Kotahi say their goal is to keep everyone on the roads safe over this holiday period, with 3 deaths reported on Southland and Otago roads so far this year. A Rangiora man is taking vintage sports cars and downsizing them. Retired science teacher Stu Scott spends his time creating pedal cars for friends and family based off some classic vehicles.
They rattle, they clatter and they turn. These small vehicles are 1/4 scale replicas of famous vintage sports cars from the 1920s and earlier, designed for children to drive. Retired science teacher Stu Scott was looking for a project to challenge him in his retirement. He decided to make these small-scale replicas as pedal cars for his nieces and nephews, which fitted him with his passion for playing around with things mechanical.
It was really a matter of having a long-standing interest in cars, but no space to do much. And then a family member suggested, well, why don't you make a little pedal car? And that's what happened about 17 pedal cars ago.
Scott also has a full-size Model T vintage car in his garage and started making the 1/4 scale pedal cars based on other classic models he was fond of. He says he likes the vintage cars because of the stories around them, but reckons they also make good pedal cars.
Well, every build I do, I like to have a brand new challenge in each one. Whether it's working with fiberglass, working with aluminium, having a brass era car, or in the last couple I've done, I wanted a motor that was exposed with moving parts.
He says part of the challenge is also learning about the history of the different vintage models, with Scott giving away most of his completed vehicles to family and friends. In Rangiora, the South Today.
Whai Yakane, still to come on the South Today. A Canterbury group fitness program that rose from the ashes more than a decade ago is proving it's here to stay. And a curious case of a missing Dunedin cat ends after 7 long months.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Hi, we're Age Concern Otago.
Age Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities,
Including little walks.
Just when you thought it was safe to get back on the sofa, my mate John's having a price frenzy! He's taken 19% off sectional lounge, 31% off coffee tables and buffets, 42% off selected clearance items and much, much more! Plus pay it off over 24 months interest free! My mate John's price frenzy!
Where did you get that furniture from? Stafford Street and my mate John.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. A post-earthquake exercise routine has become a permanent fixture for some workout enthusiasts. Christchurch's free PT in the Park group fitness training program was born out of the 2011 earthquakes and has become so popular it's here to stay.
Keeping fit and enjoying the outdoors, these free weekly group fitness training classes in Hagley Park have been running for almost a decade. PT in the Park first started as a public initiative following the Christchurch earthquakes. They forced most of the city's gyms to close, creating a need for a safe place for people to exercise while the city was rebuilt.
I find it amazing. I'm still shocked that the resource is free. Every Wednesday and Saturday it's just been amazing because I need to keep fit and healthy. I'm just used to it. So having this and adding it to my training program is amazing.
The fitness initiative is operated by a trust, using a volunteer group of qualified gym instructors. In 2020, PT in the Park was rebooted, so the free fitness training program could continue to be offered.
Basically, we just give you a good full body workout. We make sure your body's warmed up first with a proper warm-up. We check to see if you've got any injuries or anything like that, or any disabilities, and then we work around them to adapt an exercise for you.
The Christchurch City Council allows free use of this section of Hagley Park, along with its exercise facilities.
It's outdoors, it's fun, it's free, it's run by experienced trainers as well, which is really good, and opportunity to meet new people. It's, great all round.
Now in its summer season, PT in the Park welcomes people to its outdoor fitness classes on Saturday mornings and Wednesday evenings, with classes reduced to just Saturdays during the winter. In Christchurch, the South today.
Well, curiosity didn't kill the cat this time, with a furry friend returning to his owner after being missing for 7 months. Leo was given a check-up at the vets yesterday following his disappearance from his halfway bush home in July last year. He was found 21 kilometres away in Outram when he turned up on a resident's doorstep earlier this week. The ginger Grimalkin was just 8 months old when he vanished from his Dunedin home, with the family saying they were convinced they would never see him again. Fortunately, he was microchipped, so the Outram residents were able to bring Leo back home. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. With Dunedin hitting 30 degrees before lunchtime today, local ice cream stores saw profit as people tried to cool down. The new Health Minister, Dr. Aisha Verrill, came to Dunedin, talking with local leaders about the new hospital builds. And retired science teacher Stu Scott has been spending his time building pedal cars based off of some classic vehicles. And now we'll look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome the editor, Barry Stewart. Hello, Barry.
Hello, Hannah.
What can we expect in the big weekend paper?
Well, lots of reading in the weekend, of course, mix as well, so get into that. But on the news front, we have 5 Otago corrections officers were assaulted this week after 2 prisoners came out of their cells swinging when the doors were open. So that was a bit of an issue. Corrections says that more hardened criminals are being housed at the Otago facility, and this has contributed to the increase of assaults, etc., both here and nationwide. So an issue for corrections across the board.
Absolutely.
The Dunedin City Councillors have voted to retain the Taieri Gorge Railway, so that will please a number of people. There's a few provisions amongst that lot, but that's the general indication that they want to retain that service. Good for tourists and the like, so a good attraction for Dunedin. And an interesting little story in Outram, where a fed-up landlord has warned cyclists that he'll chop their bikes in half if they are left in his driveway. He's being well, it's a business, but he's frustrated that people just go to a local cafe and park their bikes in his driveway. So he's had enough.
Okay.
So we story on that tomorrow.
Brilliant. Oh, we look forward to reading all those stories and more. Thank you. Have a lovely long Waitangi weekend.
Yeah, thank you. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, it'll be warm tomorrow and Sunday as northerly airflow dominates the region's weather patterns, but cooler southwesterly airflow will arrive next week. Heading to the top of the South Island, cloudy with northerlies and 25 up in Nelson tomorrow, 23 with rain in Greymouth, while Christchurch can expect a hot 32 degrees with afternoon nor'easterlies. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago, fine with nor'easterlies as we come down here through the east coast. Well, prepare for 32 in Ashburton tomorrow, Timaru 30 degrees and back up to 31 as we get down to Uamadou. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes, cloudy with northerlies here tomorrow. Wanaka and Queenstown can both expect a high of 28, while Alexandra sends the mercury up to 31 degrees. Heading further south, fresh nor'westerlies and cloudy with 25 in Balclutha and Gore tomorrow, while over in the Catlins expect changing winds with a high of 28 degrees. And down to the deep south, cloudy tonight with a low of 17. Now the weekend starts with warm northerlies and late rain on Saturday, the high a hot 29 degrees. And Sunday, expect a slight drop in temperature down to 24 with overcast skies and rain. And finally, heading to Dunedin. Warm with northerlies tonight, down to 16 as the low. Tomorrow comes with clear sunny skies, but do expect the northerlies to pick up and the temperature with 31 as the expected high. Now Sunday's looking cloudy with showers on and off with a high of 25 and conditions that are most likely to carry through to Waitangi Day 2. And that's the news this Friday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. And you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Have a happy and safe Waitangi weekend. We'll be back with the news on Tuesday. Mā te wā.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.